Okay, my friends, thank you for joining me for this quick and pretty gentle chair flow. This is going to be about 15 minutes. There's a good chance you're probably already sitting right now. You don't necessarily need a chair to do this. Just make sure that you can get somewhere where you can sit comfortably with your feet planted firmly on the floor. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and get to your seated position. We're going to begin here with some really gentle neck movements. So first off here, we're going to start by gently rocking our head from side to side. First to the right side very slowly and gently, and then over to the left side. Think about an old clock ticking back and forth as you do this, just some really gentle, easy movements. Just starting to warm up our neck here. Make sure you're sitting up tall, pressing into your seat, pressing into your foundation through your feet, and still just slowly rocking back and forth. See if you can sync your breath to your movements. Maybe an inhale goes to one side and an exhale goes to the other side. For just a couple more moments here, side to side. Starting to slow down your mind, noticing the quality of your thoughts. Once you come back through to center on your next exhale, we're now going to do the same thing, but now just forward and backwards, so the same simple, gentle movements, rocking our head forward and backwards, so pointing your chin down towards your chest, maybe on your inhales, and maybe on your exhales, pointing your chin up towards the ceiling very gently, making sure you're not feeling any pinching as you're looking up. And just back and forth, syncing with our breath here for a couple of moments. If you'd like here, you can use your hands to press down into your knees for a little bit more stability, sit up a little bit straighter. Maybe sitting in a certain position for a little bit longer if it feels good, breathing there for a couple of moments. Finishing up here on your next exhale, coming back up and through center. We're now going to start with some gentle torso circles. So thinking kind of like cat-cow here. The way that your spine is going to kind of bend and the way you're going to kind of come through. So on inhales, think about opening your chest and coming through in a big circle. And as you go around, thinking cat pose, as you kind of round your spine gently, rolling through the back. So we're just going in one direction for a little bit longer, slow circles. And now switching directions, going the other way, whichever you started, just switching to the opposite side. Maybe resyncing with your breath here. Still really pressing into our foundation in the chair. Making sure we're still pressing into our feet. You can slowly stop the circles, coming back through center. Bring your arms up and overhead on an inhale. And on an exhale, bending your elbows to a 90 degree. From here in your cactus arms, press down into your foundation once again. And as you inhale, open a little bit wider on your arms. And on exhales, closing your arms together slowly, all the way together. If your elbows can touch, that's great. If not, no big deal. It's not the objective. Just really syncing our movements with the breath here. Inhaling to open our arms wide. Maybe lifting up our chest. And exhaling to slowly close our arms back up through the center. Maybe slowing down your breath, slowing down your movements a little bit more here. Noticing if your mind is starting to wander at this point. You're doing great so far. After your next exhale, go ahead and bring your arms back down onto your knees or wherever they're comfortable. And now slowly at your own pace, again with your breath, just move through a couple of cat-cow poses here from your seated position. So the same way that you would do it with tabletop on your yoga mat, just moving through here gently with some nice spine movements. Just pressing into our foundation first, into our feet, into our seat. Lifting up and then slowly rounding through our spine on inhales to come through to our cow pose. And on exhales, gentle rounding, cow pose, pressing into our knees. Again, slowing down the movements, slowing down the breaths. The breath leads the movement, not the other way around. Just a couple more here on your own. And now coming back through to center and neutral spine, reconnecting to your foundation once more. On an inhale, bring your arms up and overhead, and then slowly reaching over to the right side to come down. Let your arms land wherever they need to. Press down into your feet to sit up a little bit taller. On inhales, we lengthen our spine, and on exhales, we gently twist a little bit more into our right side twist. So just find some stillness here once you get into a nice little twist. Make sure you're not forcing into anything. Reaching more with your upper chest than your low back. Try to keep a neutral low body. And now inhaling to bring your arms up overhead, slowly coming back through center, and then exhaling on over to the left side. Again, lengthening on your inhales and twisting a little bit deeper on your exhales. On your inhale, come back through center, and then go ahead and lift your right arm up so that it's straight out to the side of you, almost like an airplane wing. And then using your hand, whether you want to or not, just to guide your head gently over to the left side. It's a gentle neck stretch. You should feel it in the right side of your neck. Make sure you really don't push it here. Make sure you're not pinching. And just move your arm and your head accordingly to kind of find a nice little stretch in your right side, however you need to do that. And slowly bring your head back through center, lower the right arm. Now lift your left arm, and then guide your head slowly to the right side now. Very gently, feel a nice little stretch in the left side of your neck. Adjusting as you need to find that stretch, and then connecting to your breath. Just a couple more moments here. And now coming back through center, go ahead and inhale your right arm up and overhead, and then looking towards the center, gently leaning over to the left side, really reaching our right arm up and over. Using your left arm to stabilize you as much as you need. And then same thing as the twist, inhaling to reach a little higher and exhaling to reach a little bit more over to the left side. Then inhale to bring your left arm through center over top, lower your right arm, and then exhaling still to reach over to the right side now. We're still facing the center of the room, facing forward, but now reaching our left arm up and over. Inhaling to reach a little bit higher, pressing down into our foundation. Once again, really important here. And moving on, really carefully listen here, lifting both arms overhead, interlace your fingers over top, and then breathing deeply. We're just reaching up overhead now. If your hands don't come together, that's still totally fine. Just reaching up, making sure our shoulders are down, not reaching up towards our ears. Lowering our shoulders down and back our spine, lifting our arms straight overhead. Breathing deeply here. Really pressing into our seat to reach our arms a little higher, pull our shoulders a little bit more down and back our spine. Maybe breathing in and out of our nose here. If that's too challenging today, that's totally fine. Maybe trying breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. On your next exhale, slowly releasing your hands back down to your sides, back onto your lap, wherever they fall. And now reaching your left leg straight out in front of you. First, point your toes away from you, and then flex your toes towards your face. And kind of the same thing we've been doing, sync up with your breath here, and kind of slowly just point your toes forward, and then flex them back towards your face. Just your left leg for now. Maybe an inhale, you're pointing your toes. Maybe an exhale, flexing them back towards you. If you need to bend your knee here at all, that's totally fine. And now switching over to the other leg. Now on the right side. Inhaling to point your toes, exhaling to flex them towards your face. Make sure you haven't lost the connection to a tall, neutral spine. And now letting both feet sit directly under your knees, bending your knees back again. Go ahead and lift your right knee up as much as you can, just really gently here, and then open it up over to the right side. So thinking like a frog pose here when we're lying down on our yoga mats. Just opening up to one side here, a half frog rather. Pressing firmly into your left foot and opening really gently with your right thigh here. On your next inhale, bring your leg back to the center and then opening up through the left thigh now. You can rest it on the floor here, or you can squeeze that upper left thigh and lift it in the air a little bit as you open through your thigh. Just making sure we haven't lost our connection to our breath or to our foundation here. So now slowly go ahead and stand up and stand behind your chair for just a moment, and we're going to move into just a couple of moments of a guided tree pose. So with one hand on the back of your chair, go ahead and lift your right leg up just slightly, maybe even just against your calf now, into a really low, gentle tree pose here. We're just going to be here for a couple of breaths. Just working on some gentle balance. See if you can lift your foot up a little bit higher, maybe just making sure it's not resting on your kneecap. Above or below your kneecap is good. And now just gently switching over to the other side. Again, just spending a couple of moments here in this balanced pose, this balanced tree pose. Still breathing deeply. Maybe lifting your foot a little bit higher for just one more breath. And now releasing that tree pose, go ahead and stand just a couple of feet behind the top of your chair. Place both of your hands on top of that chair and then kind of lean forward with a straight back. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Our goal is to get a straight back and kind of reach down towards the floor, almost at a 90-degree angle perfectly if you can reach down that far. Stretching our shoulders, but really making sure that we're reaching with the top of our head and reaching back with our tailbone. So straight back here, really opening our chest, opening our shoulders. Looking down straight at the floor. And just breathe deeply here for a couple of moments. Actively pressing into the floor, actively reaching back with our tailbone, and actively reaching forward with the top of our head. So now slowly coming out of that pose, go ahead and come back to a seat in your chair with both feet planted on the floor. Go ahead and reach forward down your knees and down your shins with both hands while keeping a straight spine. So once you feel your spine start to curve, go ahead and come up a little bit higher with your hands up your shins. And from here, try to keep a neutral neck, try to keep a long spine, and just spend a little bit of time here breathing. The long spine, really stretching our low back here. This is a really good position if we spend a lot of time at our computers working during the day or whatever it may be, or just sitting in general. Kind of neutralizing our spine from hunching over naturally that we tend to do during the day. So just one or two big breaths here on your own. And now after your next exhale, go ahead and find a nice gentle rounding in your spine as you slowly lower down forward. Maybe your belly rests on your knees, maybe your chest rests down on your knees, and then just gently let your head fall forward, relaxing down, letting it all go. This is going to be our final pose today, so just really making sure we're settling into the breath, calming down our mind, staying present, and really breathing deeply. If you'd like some more comfort, you can open up your hips a little bit more. You can place some blocks under your feet. But the idea is to really just let yourself sink into your legs. Maybe you can place a blanket in between your legs and your chest for a little bit more comfort. Go ahead and get any props that you need and spend just a couple more moments here, as long as you'd like even. And then as you go about your day, really just thinking about how we can take this calmness, this relaxing breath with us for the rest of our daily activities. I appreciate you being here and taking the time to calm your mind and be here for yourself and give yourself a healing practice that will really benefit you for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, as much as you choose to do this. Once again, thank you for being here. If you liked this chair flow, go ahead and like the video and maybe let me know some flows you'd like to see in the future. I'm really open to suggestions and I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see. So once again, thank you guys for being here and I'll see you next time.